Hey YouTube family, welcome to another episode of Stick Shift Stories. In today's episode, we're going to troubleshoot the Mercedes auxiliary battery malfunction fault that you might get if you start your vehicle. When this fault is activated, some of the features within your Mercedes-Benz vehicle might not work. However, don't fret, the repair for this issue might be a lot simpler than you realize. Generally, there'll be an auxiliary battery either located in the front or the trunk compartment of your vehicle. In this 2016 model, the battery was located in the trunk compartment. Once the trunk floor was lifted up and held securely into place, you can notice that the battery is to the right edge of the trunk floor, right there. It has 3 bolts that you need to remove to get at the unit, one for the holder and one for the negative and the positive leads. All of the bolts for the auxiliary battery are 10 millimeters in size and are easily removed by turning them to the left. All you need is a socket and ratchet combination. Note that the price of the auxiliary battery will vary depending on the model and specification of your Mercedes-Benz vehicle. The battery for this model cost around $150, but check with your dealer or some online retailers for your specific model. Once the fastener is loose, you can use your hand to help you remove it a lot quicker. Note that it's just a standard fastener, nothing special here, and again, it's pretty easy to remove, it's not torqued on too tight. Once that's removed, you can go ahead and start removing the leads for the positive and negative of the auxiliary battery. Again, these are both a 10 millimeter and very easy to remove. Note that while I didn't do this, it might be useful if you put some tape around the connectors to make sure that they don't touch each other or some other parts of the vehicle just to be on the safe side. I didn't do that, but I was really careful with the leads and connectors. Once the leads for the battery are removed, you're almost ready to remove the battery from the holder and exchange it for the new one. However, there is one item that's left to remove. It's the vent for the battery gases, and it's just plugged into the side of the battery. It removes easily, but is an important part of this whole thing. Please make sure that it stays in good condition. Once the vent tube is removed, you can lift up the tab that holds the battery down and remove the battery. The battery isn't heavy, so you can remove it with one arm. Once you have a new auxiliary battery and are happy with the cleanliness of the trunk area, it's time to install the new battery. Place the new battery in the correct orientation into the holder and then get ready to put the battery vent tube back into the side of the battery so that it can vent those battery gases. Once that's complete, you can flip down the flap that holds the battery in place. Get a 10 millimeter fastener and go ahead and tighten it to make sure that the battery won't move while the vehicle is in transit. The best way to tighten the fastener for the flap is to hold the flap down and apply some pressure on it, and then go ahead and insert the bolt and tighten it with your hand. Note that with these types of fasteners, you always want to start tightening it using your hands, and later on you can use a ratchet to tighten it. Once it's as tight as your hands can make it, you can use a ratchet and socket combination to get it as tight as necessary. Don't over torque this, but make sure that it feels solid. Once that's complete, you can start moving and putting the leads back onto the battery. When fastening the terminals for the battery, make sure that you use your hand to tighten them so that the actual terminal holders don't get stripped. Once that's done and ready, you're basically all done with this job. Take a look at all of your hard work and make sure that you're happy with how everything looks. Generally speaking, it should look exactly how it looked when you first opened the trunk. Once everything is put away and you put down the trunk floor, you can go back into the vehicle to start it to make sure that the new auxiliary battery is working correctly. Once this vehicle was started, we tried to test out the Distronic Plus and also waited around 30 seconds to make sure there were no more auxiliary battery malfunction codes displayed onto the cluster. All was good, and that was a very simple way to save yourself some money and get rid of the auxiliary battery fault. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and stay tuned for the next Stick Shift story.